we're doing, where we're doing it, why we're doing it. And frankly, we've got 15 minutes. If anybody has a question that's burning a hole in their brains, put up your hand and we'll try and make it into more of a conversation, since there's only 2, 4, 6, 8 people, and 2 of you have to be here. So we produce silver, we produce gold. We are a little bit different than a lot of the other exploration companies out there. We're trying to build a mining company swiftly and from the ground up. We have 4 producing silver and gold mines in central Mexico. 3 are in and around the city of Guanajuato, hence the name for our company. And 1 is considerably further north in the state of Durango. And that mine is called Topia. I'm not exactly sure where I'm supposed to be pointing this. Here we go. A couple of interesting points about silver as we go through the presentation. Mexico continues to be the giant gorilla of the silver producing world. Mexico produces 24% of the world's silver, so if you want to build a silver mining company, that's the place to be. Here you can see the state of Guanajuato, hence our name, and 1, 2, 3 producing mines in Guanajuato. We also have the El Penguico development project. We'll be starting development work underground at that project in just the next couple months. We hope to be having it in production and extracting a meaningful amount of material from underground within the next 12 months or so. El Orcon is an exploration project, and we'll be doing much more aggressive exploration on that project in the new year. I should mention too, we have in our midst today Bob Archer in the front row. Thanks, Bob. Bob worked a number of these mines as the CEO of Great Panther Minerals for a number of years. So Bob has a position in the room where probably even more so than me knows these mines better than anyone else in the room. So you can ask Bob some skill testing questions about these mines as well. And I should point out our other mine up in the mountains of Durango. It's about 1,000 kilometers further north, kind of a different operation. The mines of Guanajuato have gold and silver only. Topia is a much more normal, usual central Mexican epithermal system and has base metals as well. We mine lead, zinc, and silver. That is the beautiful colonial city of Guanajuato. The climate is fantastic, the food's good. I spent a lot of time there, it's not a hardship. But having this city as the center of your mining helps a great deal. It helps to attract good mining talent. We're only about 40 minutes away from an international airport. There's daily flights from Houston and Dallas. There's about 8 flights a day from Mexico City. It's easy to get to, easy to get in and out of. It is safe, it's a university town, it's got a real tourist industry. So there's a lot of good things about working in and around the city of Guanajuato, Mexico. As you all know, the price of silver has run a long way in the last number of months. Can it sustain itself? I think that it can, and this is one of the most important reasons why. We get our silver, and by we I mean the world, gets its silver not very much from primary silver mines. 75% of the world's silver comes as byproduct from other mines, lead mines, zinc mines, copper mines. It is my very strong belief that as the price of silver moves higher, no one's going to put a lead or a zinc mine into production just to get byproduct silver from it. And therefore the demand response from the big silver price move that we have is very, very limited. And I think that the moves in silver it can be sustained, and that the price of silver can move higher even from where it is today. For Guanajuato silver, this is our revenue breakdown. Most of our revenue, almost all of our revenue comes from precious metals. 49% from silver, 45% from gold. It is a little bit different mix than a lot of the other, we'll say, smaller central Mexican silver producers. A lot of them are really base metal producers with a big silver byproduct. Our company is considerably different than that. So if you want exposure to silver, exposure to gold, I think you should consider Guanajuato silver. This is another comment about the supply deficit that we have today. Why is there a supply deficit in the silver market? Almost exclusively, and where all of the growth comes from in demand, comes from solar panels. Today you can't make a solar panel without silver. People have tried, but it doesn't work very well. So about 17% of all of the silver that comes out of the mines in the world today goes into solar panels. That number continues to get larger and larger. If we were talking 12 years ago, that number would be 0. So you can see the very fast, the very rapid change of that the solar market is having on the silver market. And you can see that, the quote from Elon Musk, that's the extra solar photovoltaic capacity additions, and in black, the silver used to make that solar energy. This is Guanajuato Silver. We have grown the company very quickly from a standing start at the end of 2021, where we put our El Cubo mine into production. We can see we got just a little bit of production in 2021 and have built production since then. Revenue continues to move higher. 2025, we'll see just another little contraction in production as we become more focused, more disciplined about putting material through the plants that actually make money rather than just for higher production purposes. And you can see that illustrated on this page, where mine operating income is positive for the last 5 quarters. A slide again to comment on how quickly we've built the company into a significant producing silver and gold mining company. We purchased the El Cubo mine from Endeavour Silver in 2021. We then had the opportunity to purchase all of the Mexican assets of Great Panther in 2022, brought all of those mines back into production within a very short period of time. I've got about 7 minutes left to go, so I'm going to try and hit all of the major questions, the major points quickly. People will often ask, well, what's the permitting situation like? There is no mining-friendly government on planet Earth. So anybody tells you that they work in a mining-friendly environment, it's not true. The Mexican government, though, is, in my estimation, more mining tolerant than most other governments in the world, and I think that that's shown in our story, where we were able to bring these mines back into production in a very short period of time, in a matter of months. If you compare that to the years and years and years of permitting process that it takes in many other jurisdictions in the world, I think you can't help but come to the conclusion that Mexico is a reasonable place to do mining business. This is the El Cubo Mines Complex. We paid $15 million for this in 2021. The mine had been shut down for 2 years by Endeavour Silver. Just for comparison purposes and to kind of put things in context, the last time that this mine changed hands, Endeavour paid $200 million for it. And that's the type of big swings that you can get if you're buying assets, mining assets at the top of the market or at the bottom of the market. So we paid $15 million for it. We spent about $7 million refurbishing the plant, most of which the plant building that the plant buildings that you can see here, and got it back operating in about 6 months from the time that we closed the purchase. Only about 8 kilometers away in a straight line, maybe 15 or 20 kilometers by Mexican Road, is the Valenciana Mines Complex. This is the plant that we have. Our offices are just outside of this little photograph here. Valenciana is one of the great old silver mines in Mexico. People have been producing silver and gold here for 450 years. So you think about 60 years after Columbus accidentally sailed into an island off the coast of North America, the Spaniards were producing silver and gold here. Even today, and maybe about 3 months ago, we put out really quite good exploration results from underground. So it's a very long-lived mine, but there's still a lot more to give. We continue to produce material from here on a daily basis. And then there's San Ignacio. This is our third mine in the Guanajuato area. Again, maybe this is about 25 kilometers by road to the west of the last asset that we just looked at. San Ignacio has always been a mine without a production facility. So we truck our ore from here about the 25 kilometers back to the Valenciana processing plant and process it there. In a quick comment about the exploration that we continue to do at all of these mines, we own 4 small underground drills. 3 are operating at Topia, that's the mine up to the north in Durango. 1 is continuing to operate here, and then we've also hired a contract drilling company to work at El Cubo. But these are our last published drill results. Some of the grades are very, very good. A kilo of silver equivalent. Here, though, what we like to highlight are some of the widths. Generally, in the Guanajuato area, our miners are mining 1 meter, sometimes 1.25 meters, sometimes a little less. Some of these drill results have 6 and 8 meter widths to them. So these results are really good for us. The other difference, especially with our current assets, we're not a company that wants to drill, tabulate those results, and make a larger resource out of it. What we want to do is to try and move all of this material into production as rapidly as possible. So you'll see material from this structure being processed at our Valenciana plant within 6 or 8 months. And then we go 1,000 kilometers to the north. Guanajuato, I described, it's a colonial city, beautiful city, nice to be there, easy to get in and out of with an international airport to the degree possible. Topia is the opposite of that. It's about a 7-hour drive from Durango City in the mountains. The switchbacks are extensive. The ruggedness of the place, it's a little bit different, I guess, but think about having a mine in the Alps and way up into a place that's very, very difficult to get to. So typically we take a small fixed wing aircraft to a landing strip here. It's a small mine. Typically we're processing 150 or 200 tons a day, but extraordinarily high grade. If you look here at the resources that we have published, the grade is about 1 kilo of silver equivalent per ton. Some of that is lead and zinc that we put in, but the silver grades standalone are 600 or 700 grams per ton, and oftentimes we are processing in the plant here silver equivalent numbers that would be 750. So very high grade. And we continue to drill and explore here as well. There's a very important mine that Fresnillo has. And Fresnillo is the largest silver mining company in the world. It's got a $8 or $10 billion market cap, trades on the London Stock Exchange. They have quite an important mine called La Ciénaga. And it's only about 25 kilometers to the south of Topia. And I continue to see Topia, although it's been in production for about 70 years, I continue to see it as what we've done as miners so far is really just scratch the surface. I think that there's all kinds of opportunities laterally and at depth on these structures. So the stock market's been very kind to most of the silver markets, or most of the silver miners recently. We raised some money about 6 weeks ago. I'll just stick in Canadian dollars for a moment. We raised about $18 million. Just 2 or 3 days ago, we announced a bought deal for $43 million. There's investors who are willing to invest in our company, especially now that they see that we've managed to put all of these mines back into production. We're up on our feet and in much better shape than maybe we were 2 years ago when the price of silver and gold were a lot lower. What have we done recently? Spending some money, spending that money that we have raised. Where is that money going? This is a good illustration of some of the things that we're doing. Because of the nature of how quickly we've put the company together and kind of the different deals that we did to put the company together, our underground fleet has ended up being, that's just rude. Our underground fleet comes from a lot of different places, different types of manufacturers. That's not really good in terms of having spare parts necessary, so we're standardizing that. This is Chinese equipment, very low tech, small because our mines are small, the entrances are small, so that's what we're doing. We have a booth over there. So my associate JJ Jennings, who picked a spot, because the place is so crowded, you picked a spot right at the back, JJ. Okay, fantastic. So you can come and see us at our booth over here, and we'll answer more questions about Guanajuato silver. Thanks very much for your attention. It's early, and thanks. Not one person yawned, so thanks very much.